box on treetops, getting guap, got a big bands like Sasquatch. Every time you see it, what it no, it's top
I got that
notch.
chicken to go. A lot of these look lost. They broke, they think it's my fault. No court. I want that court. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Break from the city, that's light. LED, look at the light.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. We are just moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Kansas City Chiefs. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. A few short moments ago, these two teams made their way out of the Arrowhead Stadium tunnels, and the noise level in this place was just about off the charts. They're set for football as the Chiefs get set to do battle with the Cincinnati Bengals. Hello again, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we look at this Chiefs ball club. They coming off their very first loss of the year, suffered a week ago.
Yeah, it will not be a perfect season, but I'm interested to see how they bounce back now that they know that chasing the 1972 Dolphins is out the window.
Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, we're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should, and what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes rolling to his right and nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Here we go. Blue 45. Blue 45.
Back to the air on second down. It's Mahomes eluding the pressure right. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
A first trip to the red zone for KC. They've got it first and goal at the 7. Ware takes the give from Mahomes. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. Spencer Ware's numbers on the ground a week ago. 24 carries, 87 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, this is where it becomes a challenge for the offensive coordinator. He's got a bell cow at tailback right now, number 3 in the league in rushing within shouting distance of the lead. But at the same time, if the passing game is open, he's got to take advantage of that too.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep
Here we go
pace.
now. Green 39. Green 39.
On the run, it's Ware. 4 yards, that gets him close to the goal line, but it also brings up a 4th and goal.
4th down, ball's at the 1-yard line. Do you go for it, or do you go ahead and kick a field goal? I think because you're going to end up giving a long field, even if you don't score, I put my trust in my defense. I go for it and try and get the points.
Here we go now. Blue 45. Blue 45.
They'll run now with Ware. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
There is no doubt that Geno Atkins is really strong and stout at the point of attack, but I love his suddenness, the ability to make plays, to be in one spot, and then he's gone and into the offensive backfield. He's a heck of a player.
And they're a big TFL tackle for loss.
Hard to believe that his father, Gene Atkins, was an NFL defensive back. Has bred this big defensive tackle.
Give him 9 on the play, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
Well, it looked like a quick hitter, a 3-step drop, but when it's not there, what do? He elects to try and escape through the massive bodies up the middle, and he does so and picks up positive yardage.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Here's Mahomes to throw. Forced out to his left. He may try and run for this. Mahomes can sling it, but the feet are nimble too as he scrambles for a 1st down.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not.
Here we go now. Green 39.
They run it here. Ware. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. After the loss, here's 2nd and 12 from the 18. Now they'll throw with Mahomes. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. They shakes it off. He'll buy some time right. He can run for it, and he will. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City 1st down.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that 1st down now. I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Mahomes now on first down. Being chased out left. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
He was able to get away earlier in the drive, but apparently all the time they put in practice finally came to the front, didn't it? They remembered their lessons and found a way to contain him when he took off on that one.
On the ground, this is Ware. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. Carlos Dunlap, the defensive end, the one to bring him down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Mahomes looks to throw on third down, and that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this...
And now here comes Kansas City. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Now Mahomes throwing on second down. Over the middle here to Brown. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
And they'll run it here. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Mahomes to throw on second down. He's going deep for Brown. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Sean Williams there defensively to break that one up.
Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
He may try and run for this. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked it and ran, but he's still short of the marker at its 4th.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Mahomes going to go on 4th down. Able to find Harris, complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
Well, it all came together on that one, didn't it?
Big time throw on 4th.
Now that had to feel good, didn't it? taking that type of a gamble there and making it pay off. What a throw.
And tough as a receiver because no matter how perfect the pass, you know it's fourth down and you got to convert.
A little bit of extra pressure, but he overcame it.
Here we go. Blue 45. Blue 45.
Now a play fake here on first down. Sliding out of the pocket. Space to run past the 20. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get it down to the 14-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he was able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes escaping the pressure right. That is caught inside the 5. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Chiefs add on to their lead. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25. Now Spencer Ware slow to get up. And we're going to get a stoppage here for an injury. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. On play action, it's Mahomes. Flushed out right. He's going to go deep for Conley. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down.
They decided to take a shot and right down the middle of the field, and really, they didn't give it as much time to develop, did they? They want to take that shot somewhere around the 15-yard mark.
And the defense able to recover, bat it free. The Chiefs on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. They go play fake. Mahomes. He is going to find Hill here. Coming into the week, he's the NFL's leader in receiving yards. There's his first catch, and it's good for a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence, or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end. This is complete to Watkins on the slant. And he's taken down inside the 30. That's 30 yards now in the last two plays, back-to-back 15-yarders, and they're rolling.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Wide open receiver complete. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Sammy Watkins, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. And on this play, he just made a great route. The quarterback had to deliver it, sure, but a great route run there.
And, Brandon, this is what the best receivers do. They work on their route running.
They go play action here on first down. Now he'll escape to his left. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, here's Mahomes. Flush to his right. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. He is putting on a show in this second quarter, racking up the receiving yards as he has a first down.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. It's Hill, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. His throw caught at about the 5. And he's brought down. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
They talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Spencer Ware with touchdown number 8 on the year.
And the Chiefs add on to their lead. And Charles, he's able to dive in there in a short yardage situation.
Just find a place to get to the end zone. Didn't matter where it was, but once he did,
and they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Eluding the pressure right. Wide open is Watkins. He's got it. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Sammy Watkins with his second touchdown of the game, fourth of the year. And the Chiefs have got it on cruise control. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Arrowhead after this.
Hey. 4 down.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he powers his way up past the 30. Credit the tackle there to Aaron Lynch.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Nice play for Kansas City, picking up the first 18 yards that time.
On 3rd down, he obviously wants to throw the football, but there's nowhere to go with it, so he takes off and goes. And nowadays, to get to the first down marker, he blows right past it and picks up big yardage. Partner, that's a great bit of improvisation.
On 1st down, Mahomes escaping the pressure right. Room to run inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 30-yard line. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down at a 21-yard gain.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Vontaze Burfict, the one to get him down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. And they'll run it here. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. So we've come upon halftime here in Arrowhead with the Chiefs on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll start by heading out west to Glendale, Arizona, where it was the visiting Broncos who were able to come in and get the road victory. 9-7 was the final score. From there, we take the long trek eastward to Tampa, check on the Bucs at home at Raymond James Stadium. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Browns in that one. A touchdown pass there for the rookie, Baker Mayfield. Finally, let's get over to Carson, see what's happening with the Chargers at home at the StubHub Center. And they were winners in that one as they defeat the visiting Tennessee Titans. Phillip Rivers, 5 touchdown passes, leading his guys to the victory. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race, very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
First and 10, here's Mahomes. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense.
Holding offense.
So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. Dancing to his left. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Pretty nice gain on the scramble. Gets him 12 yards. I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on first down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off. Not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra. Really helps him on third down. Makes it manageable now.
From the gun on third down, Mahomes buying time to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down. Not only another first down, that also puts him over 100 yards rushing.
That's not something you see very often in the NFL. We see it more in college. But I think with more of the melding of the college game with quarterbacks, we'll see this a little bit more often in the future.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They run again with Ware. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. The Chiefs on third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. They go play action. Now Mahomes. And this is caught by Watkins. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. But they convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Adolphus Washington getting in there from his defensive tackle spot to snow him under for a loss of 4. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack.
Hey, boys, got 4 down. Mike by 5, Mike 55, Mike.
Now Mahomes. Flushed out right. And he's going to go down again. Carlos Dunlap in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long. Going to need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack for Mahomes and company.
Here we go. Green, 90. Green.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he'll go down at the 28. Give him 18 yards on that one. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Play action. Now it's Mahomes. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, God.
Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
And this is caught by Watkins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Mahomes to the former Rams, Sammy Watkins for the Kansas City first. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Mahomes now on 1st down. Flush to his right. Caught here by Conley. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this one. He's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. And they'll go on the ground. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. 2 running plays go backwards, so what's the call on 3rd and 13 now? Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line...
And now here comes Kansas City. Well, this ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But, yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we... And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by the Alabama man, Dre Kirkpatrick. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. Now they... So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. Been a very strong performance for them, really on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, giving him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless and take care of the ball on the way out.
Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. It's a gain of 7 on the ground. 2nd down coming up. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. He'll give up 6 yards there on the loss, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
They fake the give. Now Mahomes. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Vontaze Burfict. In from his linebacker's spot. He's able to drop him for a loss of about 10. Well, it was 2nd and long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
He's got the hook up with Conley. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. They do get 18, but even that won't be quite enough. It's 4th down. Mahomes going to go on 4th down. Steps away to his left. He may try and run for this. And the broken tackle helps lead to a 1st down gain. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a 2nd interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Mahomes now on 1st down. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
Hey. 4 down.
Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. And this is caught by Watkins for a Chiefs touchdown. Sammy Watkins from 6 yards away. And the Chiefs just continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has.
Now they'll run it on the toss. He's got room to run past the 20. That good for 22 and a 1st down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And some room to work. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That good for 22 and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Here's a carry for the former Dolphin. It's Damian Williams. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. Second down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down. Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now they'll throw with Mahomes. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Now here's Mahomes. Eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Forced out to his left. He may try and run for this. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair, because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up, because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Mahomes going to throw it here. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Kansas City, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Denver Broncos next week. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, it's loss number 5 for them on the year. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.